The Felix Sama Podcast, dropping it right about now.
It's the Felix Sama Podcast show. We are in the 305, and I'm so excited to be here because I've been dying to interview my sister from another mother.
That's it.
I want to say what's up to the one and only, the legend, CYRE.
Wow, such titles. Thank you. It's an honor to be here with you, Sama, because you are a legend in your category. And I wanted to say something. People use that word a lot, legend.
Yeah.
And if you really break it down, what is a legend? A legend is someone who has, at a particular moment in time, made a really significant presence.
An
impact. And so, we are.
Yeah.
We
Why not? We need to own that.
We own that.
We need to
Absolutely.
own that because we have definitely shaped music in a special way. And if it wasn't for us, music wouldn't be what it is today.
And sometimes we don't own the things that we've done. And I'm so proud. I mean, I started doing jazz clubs when I first started singing, and I was doing jazz and R&B and doing those like 4-hour sets in this little place in New York City called Chelsea Place. Harry Connick Jr. was just starting his career.
Wow. And
in between sets, I would go upstairs and, speak with him. But this is how you develop. And then, all the other groups, which we'll talk about, and music that I did with the different people. But you develop your legacy.
It's an amazing journey, and it can go both ways. It has its peaks and valleys, right?
Absolutely.
Everything's not peaky dory, peachy and fun. And sometimes you go through some bad times.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you just got to be real with it. You got to stay resilient and you overcome those times. Absolutely. But before we get into the stories, let's get into the name CYRE. What does that mean?
Where's that come from, right?
Is that your real name or is that your artist name?
It actually is my real name. In 4th grade, there was a young lady in my class. She was African American and her husband was Indian from Pakistan. And very young, she had a baby and she named the baby's son CYRE, Shankari. And I fell in love with that name. And because Shankari means morning star, and the star, it popped out at me. And I actually used it as my baptismal name. It was a little earlier, and because I had baptized into the church a little later on, and then I made it legal. But what I love about that concept is that from a very young age, I did what I call an I am moment. I established that I wanted to be.
So your parents didn't name you? So
No, I was self-named.
They named you?
Laura Rodriguez, but it's... my name officially now is Laura CYRE Rodriguez.
Okay, so how old were you when you decided to change your name?
I was 8 years old. I started writing poetry at 8. I was 8.
So at 8 years old, you were like, yo, Mom, check this out. The name you gave me, I don't want it anymore.
But it's funny because she used to, because your parents, she used to call me.
That's wild.
She used to call me by my first name and I wouldn't answer.
Laura?
Yeah. So then she'd go, CYRE. I was like, yes. She goes, okay. I
see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
But what I love about that
is so funny.
For me, because I started writing poetry, love poetry at 8 years old. And for me, what that did is that I was very clear from a young age that I wanted to manifest this idea of being an artist, CYRE, a star. And for me, it wasn't the fame. It was that I wanted to shine in the sky.
Creativity and the artisticness of it.
Yes, I wanted to be shining like a star because I used to sit out on my porch.
Yeah.
And this is a little strange, I guess, but I used to talk to the moon all the time. And I used to talk to the moon and the stars. So to me, calling myself star was like talking to my future self. And I love that idea because it's pretty profound at such a young age, knowing this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah, no, and I think a lot of kids, if they would get more into their creative space at an early age, would have a different destiny.
Absolutely. Because I was always clear, I got into science and I love science. And I actually went to college, for science because I thought I wanted to be a doctor. And I went all the way to my senior year. And then I just had an epiphany because I had this idea. I was an Aspira student, and Aspira, we were very focused on Latino culture and Latino education. Yeah. So I felt like it wasn't proper that I was trying to do something that wasn't for la comunidad, that wasn't to help people, rise up from their health. So I realized later, like, no, you can do your healing, but you're going to do your healing through your words and your voice. And I will share with you other things in the future. I saw how that actually manifested. I saw that through writing, through music, you can heal.
Yeah.
And but it took a minute because I was embarrassed that I was like, oh man, I'm doing something that seems so self-centered, being an artist.
How did you know that your presentation, your vocal delivery was different than what was out there? Because you do 4 octaves, right?
Yeah,
4 range?
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how did that impact the way you sang?
It was crazy because I never thought I could sing. I mean, I would sing around the house, but I never thought the idea of becoming a singer. I just used to sing all the soul songs, the all R&B songs around the house. But it wasn't until I went to high school that they had West Side Story. And of course, my high school, there weren't a lot of Latinas. And so they were like, well, you have to try out for Maria. I'm like, yeah, but I can't sing. I'm like, yeah, but yes, you can. Go, try out. So I went to class, and my theater teacher, she said, okay, this is the music. I knew the music because my brother in his high school, he's a lot older than me, he was Bernardo. So I knew all the lyrics to all the songs of West Side Story. Yeah. So I sang the song. She goes, my dear, you have a voice. And she, my high school teacher, out of her pocket, she sent me to a vocal coach. And then the vocal coach says, you have a magnificent instrument. We're going to work it. And, in West Side Story, there were a lot of notes that were really operatic and at a high range. And I had to be trained for that because I was going to be doing the show. Yeah. So that's when I realized, oh, wow, I can sing. I have a voice. Be an opera singer right now. And then when I was in college and in that third year, actually it was the third year, I went to Marymount College up in Tarrytown, and they had a music conservatory affiliated with the college. It was called Mozartina in Tarrytown. And so then kind of in my head, I already knew, like, I am not going to pre-med school. This is not going to come down. Yeah. Then I asked, can I take that elective? And I took voice, which was actually, I studied opera. Yeah. Because I knew that to study opera, it would then affect my range and make it strong. And then that's how I was able to exercise the skill. And I also learned music theory so I could read. Because in those days, a singer had to be able to read. Later on, when I was doing commercial jingles, like I did Dove Soap, I did Riunite, I did Agilent Pharmaceutical. You
got into the whole commercial singing,
you had
jingles.
To, in those days, you had to be able to read. Yeah. So I learned to read music, and actually also in school, in junior high school, I took violin. So I could read music and had a sense, but all of that helped me later on down the line when it came to producing and composing, because I had it in my head. I knew the structure of music and didn't realize that I knew it. So there was all these epiphanies.
So you could have, easily produced scores for movies and things of that nature.
Yeah, later on. I mean, Mystic Life.
But you went into the freestyle world. So how did that all come about? Because I'm not going to say it's a dummy down. It's not a dummy down, but it's not as intricate as doing opera and classical and jazz. Freestyle is more straightforward, not so many
levels and octaves.
Yeah.
Well, actually, see, there was a transition, and a lot of people, know me as a dance freestyle artist. But before that, the first group I was ever in the early 80s was J.R. Funk and the Love Machine. So that was dance funk. Yeah. And then the same label that was distributing J.R. Funk, they created a girl group. Well, no, not a girl group, but they created a group with 3 girls and 1 main singer, Richie Weeks and Company. And they had that big song, Rock Your World, out. And that was in 80.
Yeah, I think I remember that one. Yeah.
And then that was a different kind of singing. And then from there, I started doing a lot of studio work. And this is something a lot of people don't know. I used to go to the studio because, again, in those days, Jocelyn Brown was like, there were 3 girls that were always doing the studio work. Yeah. And I would go to do backgrounds, different types of backgrounds, a little add-ons or leads. But those girls, I mean, I used to sit there and go, I want to be able to sing like that. They were badasses, Martha Wash, Jocelyn Brown. So I came up watching women like that and literally sitting in the studio going, I want to be a badass like her. I want to be a badass like her. Yeah. And it has been a long journey to get to where I got as an individual solo artist it was a long journey of a lot of styles, of singing jazz in the clubs, of singing all the covers that you had to have all these different ranges, of singing R&B as well, of singing backgrounds for other artists, Richie Weeks and company, dance, funk, R&B. And then in 87, 86, when I recorded Last Chance, Last Chance was an interesting record because it was dance. It was considered dance music. They didn't title music the kind of music we were doing that in freestyle till later. And so if you really listen to it, Last Chance has Michael Jackson's percussionist Bashiri Johnson on it. And it's got Mickey Grudge. Mickey Grudge was the guitarist for Brass Construction. Mickey Grudge wrote Last Chance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. He wrote Last Chance. And then Jose Animal Diaz was the producer. So he and Mickey Grudge were partners on this. So you got a guy playing, if you listen to the lick of Last Chance, that's rock. That's pure rock.
Yeah.
So in those days, the whole, what I call the Latino Motown vibe was start like it happened in the 60s for African American with Motown sound. Then in the 80s, you had a lot of Latino artists that were starting to sing. You had Cover Girls, you had
TKA, Stevie B, all
but
that.
They were kind of like the second wave starting to happen. But in the first wave was Cover Girls, myself, Naomi.
Sweet Sensation.
And then as that sound was developing, then all the other artists started happening and coming out with a different style
of freestyle.
Yeah,
different style of freestyle.
And that's what then the music was. The term for it became freestyle. But then if you were Latina and came out in that era, you were freestyle, but it's still music, it's still dance.
Yeah, I mean, even I remember interviewing Lisa, and she doesn't consider herself a freestyle artist. Right. She considers herself an R&B artist.
All right, exactly. Yeah. And so...
Man, I can't believe it's 2026. Wasn't it yesterday? We watched E.T. in 82, bought Thriller in 83, called Ghostbusters in 84, and watched Live Aid in 85. Then came Top Gun, Dirty Dancing, Coming to America, and the Berlin Wall came down in 89. Fast forward to the 90s pages, mixtapes, freestyle on the radio, and everybody doing the Macarena in 96. Then came Y2K. We thought every computer was shutting down. Time flies, celebrate life now. Join DJ Sama for the Freestyle Friday birthday bash. Friday, August 7th at Cafe 27. Free parking, no cover doors, open at 8 p.m. 469 Euro US Highway 27 in Southwest Ranches. Let's celebrate life at Cafe 27.
I'm proud of the community. The freestyle community is so strong.
It's amazing.
So amazing.
Yeah, they're very loyal.
Very.
And it's a niche crew that I cater to all the time. I do my once a month freestyle events in Miami are off the hook. So the whole freestyle movement back then, how did it treat you? Did you enjoy yourself, or was it ups and downs? Was it kind of shady? Because I've heard, Stevie's told me stories about how he got screwed by record labels and all that stuff.
Oh, I will write a book, by the way. I will write a book. I'm working on a documentary.
Was it a good experience? Was it an okay experience? If you had to put it in a nutshell, what was it for you?
I'll explain. You see, when you're a teenager, man, and you're hearing...
Your label mate was freaking Nocera and
Tila Rock,
Mantronics, Joyce Sims.
And that was our little family. That's a whole other interview, because I have stories about that. On my label Sleeping Bag, it was Tila Rock, it was Just Ice.
And you're still friends with Tila Rock, right?
I'm friends with them all. And there was Nocera, there was Joyce Sims, who's she did All in All and Come Into My Life. I love her, and sadly she passed on.
Yeah,
very
rest
young.
in peace. Yeah, absolutely.
But we were a label that was. Again, I always equate it to Motown because it was a time, and we had a sound. And there were a couple of labels. There was Cutting, there was Streetwise, there was Street King. There were all these
Sleeping Bag
labels.
was leading the way in sound.
But unfortunately, which is the case of a lot of the music industry per se does not cater to the artists in terms of taking care of them. They just don't. It's sad.
Well, that's why we're at where we're at now, where everyone's pushing their own stuff and being successful with it, for the most part. Depends on
it's sad because here you have these young artists, they're signing contracts. You're thinking like, oh my God, my music's on the radio. You turn on the radio, it's like, oh my God, it's the people are jamming to my music. People love my music. It's climbing the charts. I remember when I first saw, because I love Prince, when I saw Prince, Sign of the Times, #1, and I was #3, I wanted to drop dead right there. I was like, oh my God, the dance chart. And it was just amazing because, you're focused as an artist in those days. You're so young, you're just focused on being out there performing. The love
doing what you love.
The love of singing, the love of performing in front of a crowd, In my early days, I remember going down, there was a lot of record pools in that time because the DJs are very important to the dance music industry, incredibly important.
Well,
it wouldn't happen without you guys.
The main vein.
That's
right.
Put
it that way.
And I remember being on a float with one of the Z100 and New Kids on the Block were behind me and they were just starting. Yeah. And I was up there on right in front and jamming and they were in the back jamming out to me, performing and watching me. And I brought people up from the street and they were getting a kick out of that and goofing. But we were about performing. We were about just loving performing and the sound and being there doing what you love.
Yeah.
But then what happens is that later on down the line, as you're transitioning more into a business head, you realize, okay, well, I didn't get any daggone checks in the mail. I didn't get my royalties. And then when you go to in those days they had the Blockbuster where you go to the VHS store, to get watch your movie. They're like, hey, CYRE, congratulations. I'm like, what? They said, yeah, we saw your song in No Man's Land, the Charlie Sheen movie.
Yeah, you're getting all these licensing deals that you don't know about.
You saw my music in No Man's Land?
Yeah.
Fabulous. Go to my label. Excuse me, but you never talked to me about this. Because that's licensing. That's money.
Yeah.
That's major. That's Paramount distributed film.
Yeah.
And then you start seeing, when you Google yourself, again, back then it was different, but when you Google, you have a different photograph you use, but it's in Germany and it's in Japan and it's here and it's there.
Yeah. And they're making tons of money on your music.
That's right. That translates into, into funds and to money.
Yeah.
And then you never get $1. Never get $1.
Yeah. That's crushing. It's heartbreaking.
Yes, it is. And I was the other day, I was.
It makes you want to not do it anymore.
Well, what was crushing was that after the first 2 years, because most music contracts are 5 years, after the first 2 years, I approached them and I had been writing songs, I had been recording some other things, and I was like, well, I'm ready to do the album. Like, what's going on with you guys? You're sitting on me. And they sat on me and did not let me go. And there were other labels that wanted to, because of my success, they wanted to pick me up as an artist. That would have really supported me, but they didn't let me go. And to me, that was so
put you on the shelf.
They put me on the shelf. But the thing which is hard to talk about, because I'm a very positive person, I like to focus on
the positive,
the things that are beautiful in life. But unfortunately, as life is, there are negative, ugly things. And when you're a young girl and you're sitting in front of an executive's son who's telling you, oh, well, you're not working with me to help me, work with you. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? I'm going to all my in-stores. I'm going to all the RBC. I'm doing my radio interviews. I'm doing everything that an artist needs to do to make the record happen and make them be present. And he's like, yeah, but you're not working with me. I was like, oh, I'm not working with you. I got you. Guess what? That's not going to happen. You've done that with other artists on the label. You're not going to do that with me. Yeah. Because as shy as I was in one aspect, I was like, oh no, you're not gonna, I was raised by a strong Latina woman where it's like, and also I come from this Aspira head. And Aspira, Antonia Pantoja, this fabulous woman who created this for cultural awareness for all the kids that grew up in New York that weren't raised in Puerto Rico, about who they were, about leadership. I was like, wait a minute. You're going to talk to me? You want to bed me? You have to bed me in order for me to do something? Gates. And I know, well, because again, artists don't talk about it. Artists don't talk about all the things they know, because if they did, it'd be scandalous. And it's, so you tend to focus on your creative journey and your personal journey, but all of us know things that are ugly about this business. And that was ugly. And other artists that didn't have the strength to say no went ahead and did it. Or, I'm down in the Winter Music Conference and my record company president comes into my room with one of the largest producers on the label and they're setting up a scenario where they're hitting on me. And, I need to go further and explain what that means.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, you can leave now. You can leave. Get out. Literally.
That's the audacity.
Get out my room.
Yeah.
Get out my room. And so that's what breaks your spirit, because so many artists have gone through that. And the other day I was reading this article about Irene Cara, who sadly passed on very young. And here she is. Irene Cara had this famous song, in Fame. She was in Sparkle. She was the first Afro-Latina.
Big artist. Yeah, she had a lot of fame.
Yeah, had the first Afro-Latina where there weren't a lot of Latinos. I remember growing up and seeing her and watching her in all these movies, and I was so proud. And this poor baby, same thing. She went through hell, and her label never got monies. Then they blacklisted her because she got her lawyers to, investigate that. So there's an ugly aspect of this business which consumes the artist, which takes, but doesn't really give. Where the artist gets is from the audience, is from the people, is from the joy. But what that did to me, because I was trained by my mother, being an aspirante, the pride of me as a woman and in my culture, I will be damned if you destroy me. But let me tell you, when you're going through that and you're young and you don't have all the tools.
Yeah, not everybody's that strong.
Yes.
But now it's different because so many people have spoken out on it.
Exactly.
And
the whole Me Too movement.
It gives new girls that are now coming out with music a little bit of education on how to approach the situation and not be a victim.
Exactly. And the reason why I continue, I love music. And I love creating. I love to write. I love to create videos because I got into filmmaking, which we can talk about. But I want to be a beacon of light. I want people, to say, Miss Thing went through that. She had people trying to do this. She had people stopping her. She had promoters who were, sabotaging her show. She had people doing A, B, and C.
Yeah.
And honey, they were A, B, and C. But she's still here. She picked up her boots. She learned how to produce and compose and put out her own music. And she survived. And honey, I didn't get into drugs. I never went to rehab. It was prayer and strength and faith.
And overcoming adversity.
Yes. Yeah. And I am so proud of that, because there were points where I didn't think I could keep going.
Yeah.
And I did for a while. I stopped. I never stopped creating, because what I did is when my record label sat on my contract and they didn't let me go and I had to wait those few years, I went straight into film, because I figured, well, if I can't do it, my father taught me, if you can't zig, you zag. That was his mantra. And I knew that I needed to find another vehicle, because, these idiots were sitting on my contract. So I couldn't go to another label right away. Mm-hmm. And I also didn't know what I know now. I would have approached it differently, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. I did go into film. I started doing music supervision for film. And then for spiritually, because I was distraught. 1 minute, you're riding in a limo, you're going to your show, and the next minute, nothing. You can't do anything. You're limited. And again, a lot of it was mentally where I was at that time, and what artists could and could not do. It wasn't like it is now. Yeah. The internet wasn't around. All of this social media wasn't around. So what I did to survive emotionally and spiritually and even creatively was I started volunteering for the homeless. And I did that for 10 years. I worked with the homeless in New York City behind Port Authority. It was called Open Door. And using my college degree and my creative, I did what they call art therapy. Mm-hmm. So I was there providing therapeutic poetry writing and theater and music. We'd have dancing and take them to shows. Yeah. But by healing them,
you were healing.
I was healing.
That's great.
By being a beacon of light for them, they were healing me. And I shared with many of them what I went through. And we're talking about, people who went through drugs. I had the prostitutes.
Drug addicts, overdose.
I had a crew. Yeah. I had a crew there, but listening to their stories of how they became homeless and what they went through, I would sit in my office next to a boiler. And I was like, wait a minute, girl. You're over here fussing about, oh, you can't do this. And look what they're going through. And they're homeless.
That's a reality check.
Yeah. And this man lost his mind because while he was attending to his baby, the baby crawled away and got hit by a car, and he lost his home, he lost his child, he lost his woman, and he lost his mind.
In that instant, yeah.
And I'm fussing about this. So it was another God moment to really have a perspective as to what was important and what wasn't. And behind that experience, when I got my release, which was a whole other story, I'll put that one in the book. When I did get my release, then I started working with a producer by the name of Eddie Arroyo, who was a fantastic producer and had a fantastic team. And I wrote a house song called The Life. I loved Black Box at that time. That was 92.
Yeah.
And I wrote a song that to me kind of incorporated the vibe of that Black Box house sound. And I wrote the song To Life. And if you search that on YouTube.
Yeah, I know Eddie. I'm friends with Eddie.
And if you search if you listen to the lyric, I wrote that at the homeless center. I wrote that whole album. I wrote an album.
Yeah.
They never released the album because it was on Island Records.
Yeah.
And they released The Life, but 4th and Broadway was a division of Island.
Oh, yeah.
And at that time, they had gone through some business issues. And at that time, they had to close 4th and Broadway. They've reopened it now, hence. But the album never got released, but The Life got released. And I'm really proud of that record because if you listen to it again, it's dance music with a message, which is to me in my life, like you could jam, I could write about love, I could write about loss, but I also, as an artist, wanted to write about my inspiration, how I kept my shit together, how I walked through this earth.
Your journey, yeah.
And
Absolutely.
That's what eventually, like doing The Life, and it was a badass song. I'm so proud of that. It's an amazingly produced song. Eventually led to, and the album was released and there's some great songs on it, but eventually led to my current album, which is Mystic Life, that I produce with amazing people. A gentleman by the name of David Oquendo, who's on Broadway now. He's the music director for Buena Vista Social Club. And he's an older Cubano gentleman, but he's a badass. He can do any kind of genre music. And they, in the beginning process, they held my hand through my whole producing concept. I would come to them. I knew what I wanted to do, and I co-produced it with him and my amazing engineer, Luis Guel, called it My Cuban Connection. And I'm really proud of that album because it is absolutely incredibly spiritual, and I always say to myself that if I died tomorrow, I have something that's out there on all platforms, Mystic Life, the album, that is purely my soul, all my really personal experiences, my insights, my poetry, my spoken word. It's me. And then I had the most amazing gentleman, yourself, doing incredible.
Let's back up a little bit though. So why the title Mystic Life, and what does that mean to you? And how did that come about?
Okay. So because of my experiences in life, I realized, and I've had a tremendous amount of mystical ones, esoteric experiences, I realized that this is an incredibly beautiful, mystical experience. And it was very clear to me from a child. I spent a lot of time alone because my mother and father divorced when I was 5 years old, and my mother had to work. So I spent a lot of time, I was a latchkey baby, alone. And I remember talking to the moon, talking to the plants, talking to the stars. And so I realized from a very young age that there were so many different levels of life, that it wasn't just what we were experiencing here, that there was a spiritual nature. And then I was raised to be very prayerful and had very unusual experiences as a child. And so I wanted to document that on this album. To me, Mystic Life was going to be an iconic album that I could do all my dance music later and Latin later, all the things I really want to do, which I'm doing. But this was going to be my soul. I was going to expose my soul. And my life and my soul, which I exposed on this album, is mystical. And a mystic is a person who seeks union with the Creator, either directly or indirectly. And for me, I've had mystical experiences where, and it may sound crazy to the audience who hears this, but I'm going to say it, and it's because it's real. And I didn't do drugs. I've heard angels. I've heard angels sing. I've heard within those millions of voices that were singing at one point where I was so deeply depressed and sad and distraught. And I heard also a voice that said, "Be still, for I am with you." I was blown away. And then I looked later on, because I don't know biblical verses from the top of my head.
Yeah, that's definitely a biblical verse.
That's a psalm. That's a psalm. And I was like, well, oh, sweet Lord, I just heard angels. And I just heard a voice. And is that the creator? But all I know is that it stopped me dead in my tracks.
Well, God is within us.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So that doesn't surprise me.
Yes, and I heard that, and it stopped me, and I took my breath away. I was blown away, because you hear, if you enjoy reading, enjoy reading about philosophical, esoteric experiences that saints have, Mother Teresa, saints have, they have these mystical union experiences where they get messages, where they hear, and here I am, I had experienced that. And to me also, music is an incredible mystical source of inspiration and experience.
That's a gateway.
It is
to a lot of
gateway,
things.
and I can say, I didn't put it on the album, but when 9/11 occurred, I had heard, I was sitting down at my desk, and I heard the story that this man, the one that was the gentleman on the plane, that plane, they were the two went to the tower, and there was one that was heading towards the White House in Virginia. And he called his wife and said, "Look, this is what's happening. I'm going to attack these guys, and I'm going to try to, rectify this." But he said, "I may not make it." And he told his wife, "I'll see you on the other side." And when I heard that, it blew me away, and I started crying. And then suddenly, I tell you, it is a very mystical thing. I just heard lyrics, "See you in heaven." And he was telling her, "I love you. Be strong. I'll see you in heaven. I'll see you on the other side."
Yeah.
And those lyrics came to me. They came through me. You'll hear a lot of people talk about that, artists.
Yeah.
It just comes through you. You could sit down and try to write, but mostly with me, it's either a title comes to me, or a melody comes to me, or a message immediately comes through me. And I wrote that in 10 minutes.
Yeah, because you're a medium. Now, what was the hardest song to write in the album?
On the album?
Yeah.
Listen, most venues do not have a location problem. They have an entertainment problem. The night feels slow. The music misses the crowd. The lighting feels way flat. The promotion is weak. The room has no clear identity. That's where Sama Entertainment Consulting comes in. I'm Felix Sama. We help nightclubs, lounges, restaurants, and venues turn slow nights into signature nights. We study the room. We identify the right audience. We build stronger theme nights. We bring in the right DJs, live bands, hosts, and entertainment. We improve the sound, lighting, visuals, music programming, marketing, promotions, and customer experience, because a great night is not one thing. It is the right mix of energy, strategy, talent, production, and promotion. When the room feels alive, people stay longer. They spend more. They come back, and they bring their friends. Sama Entertainment Consulting gives your venue a real entertainment strategy, not guesswork. If your venue has slow nights, empty dance floors, weak themes, or no reason for people to return, let's fix it. Book a venue strategy call today. Sama Entertainment Consulting. Let's pack your place.
There's two, maybe Bye Bye My Love song that I wrote that was a little difficult, because it was a very naked song of telling someone goodbye that you knew that this relationship no longer worked, and it was not for you. So that's very naked. When you express things like I do on my album, you're naked. You're showing all your stuff. And I tend to be a very private person. I always admired Prince, because I felt, this is hard to say, but I felt like there was a connection that I felt, because he is a badass on stage, but yet he's very private. So I feel like that oftentimes, that I love to perform, but that I'm very private. I don't like to expose a lot of things personally in my life. But this album is completely exposing, completely naked. And each and every song is about an experience that is very real to me and very naked. And the other one, which is really hard to explain, is a song called Epiphany.
Mm-hmm.
And Epiphany, on those years that I was doing film, I also decided to enter the corporate world, and which I'm very glad I did, because it gave me another perspective. Because I realized I was like, you need to make some serious ducats to do your projects. Because I'm never going to be again sitting in front of someone that says you're not working with me. Hello.
Yeah.
I'm never again going to ask anyone for something I can't do myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that intense Latina, Taurus, like, later for you, I'll do it. Thank you. Don't play games with me, sort of vibe. I decided to work in the corporate world as a personal assistant. And I got to be a personal assistant for a gentleman by the name of Clarence Benjamin Jones, who was Dr. King's speechwriter. He wrote the I Have a Dream speech with him in Yonkers in his home, and his best friend and his attorney. So I got to meet very, very influential political figures because of that association and period of my life. And Mr. Jones would share some of his experiences with him as a man, as a friend, as a brother. And one day, because I taking that all in, I sat down, and Martin is a legend, but Martin was a human being and a man, and he had faults, and I absorbed that. And Epiphany is about a man inspired by Martin, who is approached before he leaves this earth by his guardian angel, and having to sort of have a dialogue with him, like, look, I know I'm leaving this earth, and I try to do everything perfectly as you would have wanted me to, but I'm a man. I'm just a man. I'm human. I'm living and walking through this earth, and I have my faults, but I did the best I could. And Martin was African American Moses, but was a human. And we can't look at the faults. We have to look at the journey and the end result.
What faults are you referring to?
Of him being a human being, of him not having fidelity in his relationship.
Oh, okay.
Things like that.
I thought he killed somebody.
Yeah, no. But, an exceptional man. And so that song, Epiphany, if you listen to it, it's him having a dialogue before he leaves this earth with his guardian angel.
Everybody's got a little bit of a different belief system. I know I talk to a lot of married men, and some guys think that it's okay for them to be, I don't do it, but I'm just saying, like, some guys think that it's okay for them to be with another woman as long as they come home at night. So everybody's got a different belief system.
Yeah. Woo, I don't.
No, I know, but I'm keeping it real. That's what it is.
It's true. And then if you look at different cultures,
And some cultures, it's okay to be that way. It's okay to have 5-6 wives.
Yeah.
Look at Neil. Neil's got like 3 or 4 women that he lives with, and everybody knows about it, and they're open, to it. And everybody's cool with it. You know what I mean? But if it works for them, I'm not going to rain on your parade.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
It's a very interesting thing, because I really find that love is incredibly mystical. Love will transcend you. I believe that people are in relationships. It allows them to investigate their own souls, their own faults, their own lessons, their own learning, their own needs. And love exposes to you everything. And because it makes you so vulnerable. Yeah. It makes you so vulnerable. Yeah. And in that vulnerability, there's so many lessons. And yes, you can do that if you want to do it with a whole crew. God bless. But I personally feel that journey, that one-on-one is one to be done on earth with this one soul. But I try not to have judgment, because Yeah, me neither. I don't judge people. If that's the way you want to roll, then more power. Exactly, that more power to you.
And
then artists tend to be very, I thank God for the gift of voice. The Latino terminology, when you get a gift, el don, ella tiene el don, is I'm so glad. I wake up every morning and I thank God for life, for breath, for everything that I have. I have a tremendous amount of gratitude. And I thank God for being able to do what I do, to be an artist.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the remix, because I'm glad that, that we worked together on the remix. It came out amazing. I can't wait till.
Oh my gosh.
As a matter of fact, why don't we give them a snippet of the remix?
I love that.
All right, guys. Yo, check it out. We weren't going to do this, but we're going to go ahead and play the lyric video, a piece of the lyric video. This is the brand new remix of Mystic Life, and then we'll play the original, but we're going to play the remix first, so that way you can see where it is and then where it originally started from.
And can I say, and this is the absolute truth, that like all things in life, life brings to you the people that you need to have in your path for your learning, for your blessings. Sometimes, horrific things for you to learn.
Yeah.
How to be stronger.
Yeah.
And I absolutely feel this was so personal to me. Mystic Life is so magical to me. So much my mission statement.
Yeah.
It's my mission statement. If you listen to the
It's your
daggone
mantra.
lyrics, it's my mantra. So for me, I knew I wanted to do a dance version of it. And I said, well, sweet Lord, who am I going to find that's going to, first of all, get it? That's going to do some magic with it. And I prayed on it. I was like, please bring me somebody, and I say that not because you're sitting here, but you, Sama, I like to call him Sama.
No,
I love
that's
your last
fine.
name.
Yeah. A lot of people call me Sama.
Yeah. You get it as a man, as a spiritual man yourself. You get it. And it was magical because without having to say anything,
They just happen organically. Yeah.
And you put together a sound that I'm so excited about.
Yeah.
It's perfection.
Well, I've wanted to transition into producing and remixing full time for a very long time. I've been an on-air DJ and a TV host for most of my life, my career life. And I've always had a passion to produce. I went to Full Sail recording for the arts early on when I was like in my 20s.
Wow.
And I wanted to be the next Latino Quincy Jones.
Woo! I love Quincy.
Yeah.
Tila Rock and Quincy were tight.
Yeah. But that was my role model, right?
Yeah.
So that was my role model.
That's a hell of a role model.
And I've produced, as I was doing my radio and TV career, but now it's full throttle. And you're one of the projects that I've taken on full throttle. And I said, listen, man, we got to go ham on this, and really make it what it's supposed to be. And I'm excited about the dance mix, which you guys are going to hear now, but the hip hop mix is I think it's going to be even more fire.
I can't wait.
I can't wait. So yeah, nothing but good vibes.
And I've heard your new. I had the joy of hearing just yesterday your dancing thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it, and I love the video. It's amazing. That's
only the lyric video. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the lyric video. Yeah.
It is fly. I was just listening to it. I was like, oh no, work.
Yeah, but those are the kind of productions like what we're doing and what I did with that. I come from radio, so my sound is very commercial sounding, but it's got that funk, to it. Like I like that vibe.
Yeah.
So, it's just one of those things where when I meet someone like you and we can vibe and we can work on I'm like a kid in a candy store. It's funny because I know this one guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but he's been in the business for a very long time. And we were talking this morning and he was like, I go, man, you're in your prime. I said that because I like his energy and I like the way he moves, right? And he goes, oh no, man, I used to be like way more live and do this. I'm kind of like, on a downhill of what I'm doing now. I'm like, it doesn't matter what age you're at. You should never be like feeling like you're declining or decreasing. You should always be like excited about what you do and always know that there's another level that you can go to. When I'm 70, I want to be in my 60s. I want to be in my 70s going, man, I'm jealous at what the guy in the 60s was doing, so let me do better, and so on and so forth. I always want to outdo what I used to do. You know what I'm saying? Like always want to take it to another level.
Yes, I remember this mystic life. I remember, yes, I remember this mystic life. Yes, I remember this mystic life.
That's the beauty of true artists. I mean, look, let's face it, the reality is there's different levels of artists. There's people who do this business because they want the fame. There's people who do this because they want the money. Just get the money.
Yeah.
There's people who do this because they love the creativity of it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, your creativity doesn't stop, when
It
you
doesn't
get
have
older.
an age. It doesn't have an expiration date.
It just gets, to me, like wine. It gets rich. It gets tasty. You
Yes.
get more salty and tasty.
Refine it.
When because you live more life. You've gone through more experiences. And that's what real creativity is about, I think. And you need that.
I love artificial intelligence. I love AI. I mean, it really is changing the face of how we communicate, on how we produce and all of that. But don't let it do the work for you.
Right.
Use it as a tool to enhance your creativity, but it can't be
Everything.
the way to make music.
Yeah.
It's not. Music still has to come from the soul.
Yeah.
It still has to come.
Analog.
It still has to come from the individual, right? We don't want to lose that essence, because you're going to sound like everybody else.
Exactly.
What makes you unique is what comes out of your voice
All right.
and the way it came out.
And your soul, because
Yeah.
if you look at it, I mean, let's talk science here. Sound. What is sound? It's air going through the vocal cords, vibrating at a particular frequency. And then what are lyrics? It's the brain conceiving conceptual ideas. I was talking to a gentleman who I absolutely love, that you had I'm honored that you introduced me to Louis Martinet, who's an amazing writer. And I was
Louis
just
is my boy. Yeah.
Oh, he's amazing. And yesterday morning, I was talking to him. I said, yo, bro, I just want to acknowledge something. I said, you are romantic. I said, your lyrics. And mind you, he was acknowledged for it because he won Billboard Writer of the Year at one point in his life.
Yeah.
But I was like, this line of this new song that I'm working with him on, I see your smile dancing on the floor, the sunlight dancing on the floor. I mean, it's visual. So the beauty because I think in images. I see an image in my head, and that gives me the lyrics.
Yeah.
At one point, I used to vocal coach, and I used to tell students, because I was trying to teach them how to do a run. So I would draw figures on the wall, and I said, well, take your voice and follow that. Follow it. And they were like, what? I'm like, visualize the sound. Visualize your voice.
Yeah.
And then writing. Visualize conceptually a different way. And it's words and sound.
Well, people need direction, and they need coaching and mentorship to be able to get that out of them and to know what to practice and rehearse, because this is why a person like you being able to teach and mentor is so important, because otherwise those are souls that never get to their capacity.
Yeah. And, everyone has a different journey in life, period. And one of the things I've in my wisdom and time and with aging in this business, is that you just have to accept your uniqueness. You're not going to be like anyone else. Nobody is like anyone else.
Yeah.
And that's not a problem, because, there's a poet, and I can't recall who, but it's like, do the stars fight with each other in the sky as to who's giving how much light? No. All the stars are up there shining bright. Yeah. And star number one, Alpha, is not saying to Eta or whatever, I want to shine brighter than you. No. You're shining beautifully, individually. Embrace that. Do not try to be like anyone. Do not follow someone else's path just because someone else's. And let me tell you, it was scary doing this album. Not because I didn't think I had the ability, but it was scary. Like, oh girl, they're gonna ask you, like, what the hell are you talking about in Mystic Life? Like, what do you mean? You remember the sounds of ancient tree. Like, what girl are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know, what are you saying?
And you're speaking your truth within the music.
That's my truth. And that's my visions. That's my experiences. That's the things that come to me. And so
there's, because of social media, because of peer pressure, because of all of that, some of the stuff never changes, right? People just, they fall into, and even growing up, a wise man once told me that a lot of people live what's called a lie-identity. You know what a lie-identity is? A lie-identity is everything everybody told you that you would never amount to growing up. You're never going to be rich. You're never going to be famous. You're never going to be worth anything. You're never going to do what you want to do. Those are all identities that were told to you, and some of the stuff you believed, right? Yeah. And you grow up thinking that you should be a certain job description when really you have a passion to do something else. What you need to do is you need to really dig deep inside your soul and figure out what you want out of life and how you want to live your life. And then when you discover that, that's when you're going to live your identity.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. And you know, what's interesting is that, and this is the fabulous journey of life, that you can have truth and knowledge of that truth and slip and then forget it. You know, it's not linear. You are going to be going through ups and downs. There are times where it's like, I am doubting myself. I am doubting myself up and down about a million things, you know, and then there comes a person that will pass you by in a second, or, you know, my auntie speaking to me, or a psalm or a poem, or someone I see on a talk show. And then I remember, like, there's a line in Mystic Life. Yeah,
that's what I just thought of when you said that.
Yes, I remember my mystic life. And then it's like, wait a minute. I remember my connection with divinity, that I am just a little drop. I'm just a little drop of God, of divinity, of the consciousness of the universe.
That's a song, A Little Drop of God.
Yeah, you know, and that's how titles come, right?
Yeah.
And I remember that, wait a minute. No. Don't get up. Don't get caught up in the noise of this existence. Understand that we are a piece of divinity. We are divine. Take time to sit in quiet. Take time to do your prayers or your meditation.
Absolutely.
To do your reading.
100%. Yeah.
To remember everything that you knew, but you forgot. You know, because I believe that.
That's why prayer is so powerful.
Absolutely. I remember things that I often, and like sometimes when I listen to the album, I go, oh girl, that's kind of profound. Where'd that come from? You know? Yeah. But we are all incredibly beautiful, profound creatures, and
we always have to think about our future self.
Yeah.
And live that today, right? So this is the be, do, have method, where you be the person you want to be, you do the work, and you can have that.
Feel the beat at the Ultimate Dance and Freestyle Experience, Friday, August 28th at the legendary Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. Performing live dance and freestyle icons, Jody Watley, Samantha Fox, Expose, Trinier, DT, 69 Boys, Live, Susie Carr, Sapphire, Voice Infection, No Mercy, Turbo B of Snap, Janice Robinson, Noel, Tony Moran, hosted by DJ Felix Sama. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster. The Ultimate Dance and Freestyle Experience, Friday, August 28th at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Hollywood, Florida. For more information, go to dancenowamerica.com.
Yeah, and it seems so simple, but there's so much complication to life. We complicate things with doubt, with fear. A very wise woman I know, she said, there's only two emotions in life. There's only two. Love and fear. And we operate, everything we do is either operating from love or operating from fear. Talking negative about people. Ooh, I'm going to put them down because I perceive them as being better than me. Only two emotions, love and fear.
Yeah.
So
what you have to understand, though, is you shouldn't be in competition with anybody, right?
Yeah.
You are in your own race. You're challenging yourself every day. That's the only person that you need to upscale is you. That's it. Everything, there's enough. God says, be fruitful and multiply. Mm-hmm. So that's what you do. He wouldn't have said that if he thought you were going to be competing with anybody. When you start thinking about, oh, this person, then you're not focused, man.
Yes.
You're not focused.
And again, it takes maturity. It takes wisdom. I love where I'm at right now because it took a lot of pain, a lot of tears, a lot of suffering, excruciating pain, going through the things in my own personal life, in the music industry. It'll kick your ass if you're not strong.
Yeah.
And it has molded me to finally be in this place. And I'm good with it. And but that's taken so long to be good with it, to be good where you're at. And everybody watching this, we all have so many doubts. We all have so many things we go through, all the questions, and we drive ourselves crazy by not connecting to love, to our divinity, to our place where we are right now. You know, we're all moving. We should all be moving to the desire to be a higher conscious individual.
Absolutely. Higher state of consciousness, without a doubt, is something that everyone should be striving for.
Yeah, but that's the media, what we see with the artists out there. I mean, I don't want to put down anyone, but baby, sometimes I'm like, everybody's doing this, everyone's doing that, everyone's, showing this, everyone's doing it. It gets redundant.
You gotta, con quien tú andas es quien tú eres, right? That saying, it lasts the test of time.
Right.
Your perimeter is everything, man. You know what I mean? You got to surround yourself with positive people that are going to encourage you to level up all the time.
That's it. And
that goes with friends, that goes with families, that goes with co-workers, that goes with business partners. That goes with everybody. I don't want anybody in my circle that has negativity.
Absolutely. Because it will drain you.
It will.
It will affect you.
I don't want my kids around anybody. No, seriously. I don't want my kids around anybody that has negativity.
Because then you go,
It
is, you can, like when people say this person has an infectious laugh or, people, we influence each other.
I have a friend of mine that actually signs up their 11-year-old kid to go to Anthony Robbins empowerment seminars. Really? And he's taking a seminar and the kid's already going to start his own business.
Whoa.
Who says that you have to wait till you're an adult to go to an empowerment seminar? Do it now.
That's amazing.
You know what I'm saying? Because then you're going to have the fortitude, the mindset to do business the right way.
Wow.
And learn how to handle it like a CEO.
Wow.
And with these kids, man, and the AI technology, sky's the limit.
Wow. I was in St. Kitts, doing something in St. Kitts for the Future Music Festival that's coming down. But a little boy, I was sitting there by the pool, and this little boy came up to me, and he had heard that it was my birthday through
happy belated, by the way.
Thank you, Taurus. And he shared, my husband shared with him, and this little boy, he was 8 years old, no, 10, and he had a little business. He was vacationing with his parents. He was selling seashells.
There you go.
He took a little,
he got his hustle on.
He got his little hustle on, and he had a $2 there, and he said, "This,
nothing wrong with that."
And he came, he presented me his little seashells and extra seashells because it was my birthday. And I think his name, Tristan or Trevor. And I looked at him and I started to cry because he was so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I said, you know something? I've been worrying about the future. I said, I think I'm okay because you know what? You just showed me
that we're all right.
That we're all right. You're a little piece of humanity because he he wanted the money. He wanted the money.
There's nothing wrong. Remember, be fruitful.
Yeah, be fruitful.
Yeah.
But he also went the extra mile to get me extra seashells that he had in his stash.
Yeah.
Because it was my birthday, and he wanted to walk it to me. And he presented it to me. Yeah. And that's why I started to cry, because it was so beautiful. Like this beautiful, new, shiny soul that hasn't been messed up. No one's told him yet he couldn't do something. Yeah. No one's told him, don't give her this because you can make money on that. Why give it to her when you can make an extra $2 on those extra shells? Yeah. It was so profound in his little simple, beautiful manner that to me, that was a mystical experience, that this pure soul did that. I was in New York City and I had a hard day. I was in Port Authority, crazy ass people in New York City. And I was going down one escalator, and going up the escalator was this older woman, and she reached over, because we went like this, we passed each other. Yeah. She reached over, she touched my hand, and she said, "It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. Just wait." I don't know who this woman was. She saw something. She felt something. She found it in her soul to tell me something. And it empowered me and made me cry, because to me, that was like an angel. Like we're angels to each other. We give each other's messages.
I believe that. I believe that.
And you could give love and strength and hope.
I think people have a misconception about being rich. There's nothing wrong with having money. It really is more about your character, your personality. If you're a good person, you're good-hearted, you mean well, having money is going to give you the opportunity to do more for the less fortunate, right?
It's interesting you say that.
But if you're bad personality and don't appreciate people and values, having money is just going to make you work. Thing. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You should be fruitful as much as possible.
Yeah.
So that generational wealth can go on and on. One less thing for your kid to have to worry about.
The Felix Sama Entertainment Business Mindset Success. Hosted by radio veteran, DJ, producer, entrepreneur, Felix Sama. Hear the story, learn the strategies, build your brand, grow your income, create your legacy. Artists, entrepreneurs, industry leaders. The Felix Sama Podcast, where success leaves clues. Welcome to the show, where culture creates currency.
And there's monetary wealth and spiritual wealth.
Yeah.
And at this point in my life, there's so many multiple levels. Right now, I'm really in a place, which is why the album happened. I'm really in a place of receiving and giving spiritual wealth.
Yeah, which is great.
Yes. And,
because people need that before they get monetary wealth. Yeah. You need spiritual.
Because, honey, I know a lot of people, having done work in the corporate world, that are filthy rich, and they are all screwed up, honey. They're a hot mess.
What good is that? Yeah. You're living in a mansion and you're miserable.
Oh, and believe me, I have stories, but out of respect, you don't share them.
Be like, yo, they got the mansion, boy, they got it all, man. Right. They must be happy. And you go inside the room, everybody's all sad and gloom. Walking around, I hate you.
Yeah, no, the stories.
I wouldn't want that. You know what I mean?
Well, because honestly, if you have all this monetary surplus, but if you are not in a place where you want to, the term they use now is pay it forward.
Yeah.
Why bother? That my abuelita used to tell me, nunca dejes este mano saber qué está haciendo este mano. Don't let, when you do something good for someone, don't talk about it. Don't let the other hand know. I love that. Prince did that a lot. A lot of artists make a lot of money and they give to institutions and things. But it's important to share your love, share your spiritual wealth, even if it's a little thing, even if it's, if you see a pregnant woman in the airport with her baby in her hand, trying to get her luggage. She's got 3 huge pieces of luggage, walk over and spend $9 and get her a carriage and put it on for her and let her keep walking. If you see a medical student, who's going through changes, and you have a little bit of wisdom, or if you can help them out because, your cousin is like a bigwig in a hospital and you can help them, with their residency, do try to find what you can give.
And surround yourself with the right mentors that are going to give you the movement that you're looking for, right? Because you can't do it all. You can't know it all. So surround yourself with people that do know what you want to know.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because it will collapse your way to success.
Yeah. And I'm really grateful. There's no way I could be sitting here in this mental space if it weren't for the multitude of people, be it spiritually, be it therapeutically, to help one grow.
Well, we went off into another realm.
Oh, yeah, we did.
It's all good though. You know why? Because this is real talk.
It's real talk. Again.
So,
my damn album is called Mystic Life. It's like, it's I'm talking about the reality of what we go through. Yeah. Because you see artists and you have a perception of who they are, what they are, how they live.
Yeah.
You don't know unless they tell you the struggles, the pain, the sorrows, the horrors that they've been through, unless they tell you.
Yeah.
But you always think you have this perception that everything's perfect in the life. No.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times when they get interviewed, it's about the facade, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of artists aren't really comfortable opening up because not because a lot of times they want to, because the interviewer isn't doing it right.
Right.
And they don't feel comfortable opening up.
Right. Yeah.
But when the interviewer is being true and is really in a space where they just want to be interested in what you're saying, it's a whole different conversation.
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to sound interesting. I'm interested in you.
Yeah. And that's a good interviewer, because why interview? You do an interview because you want to inform people about the subject or the individual.
Yeah.
And why am I going to sit here and try to tell you that everything's been perfect in life? No, I have gone through some wicked ass, but I'm still standing.
Yes.
I have gone through disappointments. I have gone through wretched people in this industry who have tried to stop my path, who have tried to diminish me as a woman or as an artist. But I am here, standing here to say, you know what? Pa'lante.
That's it.
I decided not to allow that to destroy me. And there were times when I thought I would be. There were times.
You're a survivor.
I didn't hear them damn angels for no reason. There was a reason, like she's spiritually on the floor, literally.
Yeah, I know you got your hands in film. You got your hands in music. You're doing so much. I'm so proud of you. You're an amazing woman. You're a strong, independent woman. You got an amazing husband, and you love Miami.
Ooh.
You want to have a speakeasy at some point in South Florida.
I want a jazz club in the worst way.
Yeah.
Cafe CYRE.
There you go, Cafe CYRE. I love it. That's hot. That's hot.
I love that.
But sky's the limit. So give everyone your socials where they can connect with you and hear the music and be a part of the CYRE love connection that's going on with you.
Thank you, Felix. On Instagram, I'm at Mystic Life CYRE. I have a very cool website that is Mystic Life CYRE too. Kept it simple.
Yeah, thank you.
It's really pretty too, because when you open it up, it's like the sea.
Nice.
It's nice. And I put merch on it,
Okay.
I got some merch going on.
Yeah, I got my hat. I was going to bring it. I forgot my hat, but you'll see it because I'm going to superimpose it here somewhere.
And then I finished this album. It's out now. I have the vinyl, it's available.
Don't you have a copy of it? Okay.
I do. I have, here it goes.
Oh, nice. Wow.
I want to talk about
beautiful.
this picture.
You could tell you like to dance just by the way that looks.
The photographer, when I was on Island Records, very famous photographer.
Did you know Martha Reynolds?
Oh, I don't.
She worked at Island. I was just curious if you knew.
Yeah, Cookie Gonzalez. He's the one.
Okay, I've heard of Cookie too.
With Eddie Arroyo. Cookie Gonzalez. I love Cookie. But when I did my photo session for my album on Island Records, a photographer by the name of Tony Wright.
Can you turn it around so I can see the back?
Did my photographs.
Oh,
Tony's famous.
Nice.
He has a book. He's a beautiful illustrator. He has this book, one of my favorite, on animals. He's a very spiritual man too, and angels. And he's
I love the fonts.
isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's nice.
That one I chose because my father was a graphic artist, and I picked up things being around.
Is that a special flower?
No, this is a mandala. This is my logo, the tree of life.
Oh, cool.
And then on the bottom here, it's Alpha Omega, which has to do with a God.
Okay.
I am the beginning, I am the end.
Oh,
And
there
then
you got
there's
the little chant.
yeah, yin and yang, the balance of life.
Yin and yang. Yeah.
And then angel wings. So I like the idea
Very
of mandalas because
Nice.
you know, in
What are you holding? Are you holding something?
I'm holding. It's actually like a bifocal.
Oh,
has to
okay,
do-
okay. There. Now I see it. Okay.
The message is learning to see, going beyond what's in front of us
Nice.
and looking more detailed.
Yeah.
And the mandala is because I love the idea that in the Indian tradition of Tibetan, of creating a mandala, beautiful, intricate, hours, and then the monks whoosh, blow it away. So they take time to create such beauty, and then in an instant it's gone. It's like us as human beings. We're here, we create all the
Nothing
stuff.
lasts
that we
forever,
do.
yeah.
Nothing lasts forever, and then it's all gone.
Yeah, but the legacy lives on.
Yes, so that's what that's about. And I'm a candle freak. In my own house, I've got at least 100 candles. So I just did it.
so
But
you have
Tony
the
Wright, he's the if you look him up, Tony Wright, WRIGHT, he's the photographer artist that did this, and I'm really proud. So even
Awesome.
though I asked Tony, listen, when Island closed down 4th and Broadway, I said, Tony, do you mind, like in the future, if I use like photography? He goes, no, just give me credit. So I did. I give him credit.
Listen, most venues do not have a location problem. They have an entertainment problem. The night feels slow. The music misses the crowd. The lighting feels way flat. The promotion is weak. The room has no clear identity. That's where Sama Entertainment Consulting comes in. I'm Felix Sama. We help nightclubs, lounges, restaurants, and venues turn slow nights into signature nights. We study the room. We identify the right audience. We build stronger theme nights. We bring in the right DJs, live bands, hosts, and entertainment. We improve the sound, lighting, visuals, music programming, marketing, promotions, and customer experience, because a great night is not one thing. It is the right mix of energy, strategy, talent, production, and promotion. When the room feels alive, people stay longer. They spend more. They come back, and they bring their friends. Sama Entertainment Consulting gives your venue a real entertainment strategy, not guesswork. If your venue has slow nights, empty dance floors, weak themes, or no reason for people to return, let's fix it. Book a venue strategy call today. Sama Entertainment Consulting. Let's pack your place.
All right, Tony, there you go. You got your credit.
Yeah, and what I'm planning to do is, because we have a whole beautiful photo session that we did, is to one day do a listening party with all of his photos blown up,
Oh, that's cool.
and then my music.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to do
We
that.
should do that in Miami.
I'm gonna, because you know, I got a thing from Miami. If you haven't noticed,
Yeah, we should definitely do that in Miami. Yeah, you're here like every other month.
I know, because you know what it is. I was telling my husband that it holds so many memories for me, because back in the days,
Yeah, you went to Calle Ocho, all that, right?
1235.
Yeah.
Remember that club?
Of course.
Same sound
Yeah,
system.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know that as a DJ, the same sound
The
system.
Richard Long sound system.
Oh
yeah,
man, that was in Palladium. Was
Yeah.
in 1235. All the clubs. So I have a lot of good memories. And
Yeah.
then I love Art
It's
Deco.
still standing now.
Is it?
Yeah, it's still a club.
Oh,
I think Live Nation owns. Well, they do the entertainment there.
wow. And then all the Art Deco. I used to just come down here because my father also lived in Florida, and when he was alive, he knew how much I liked this area. So we would always meet for lunch. So even though I've lost him, every time I come here and I sit in that hotel and I close my eyes, he's there with me.
Yeah, that's nice.
He actually made a prediction. He said, you know, I think someday you're going to have a place here. You're going to live here. And I love where I live. But I was telling my husband, I said, you know what, baby?
Yeah, listen, you
kinda
can live
cute.
in more than one place.
There you
man.
go.
You know, I want to travel a lot more than what I'm doing, and I'm taking my kids with me.
Wow.
And we're going to travel all around the world. I want them to see the world.
Wow.
I really
Where
do.
would be the first place you would go to?
Oh, that's a good question. I want them to see South America. I mean, they've been to Santo Domingo, but they've never been to Puerto Rico. I want them to go to Puerto Rico. I want them to go to Cuba.
Yes.
So I think it's important. And Nicaragua, they've been to, is it once or twice? I think once. So that's where my wife is from. She's from Nicaragua.
Oh.
So they've been there. They need to go to where I'm from. I was born in Cuba. So yeah, you need to go to Cuba and you need to see how we grew up and all of that. So I want them to see that. So I want them to visit Latin America a little bit. And then from there, we'll go to France and Paris and Italy and do all of that. But let's go to the roots first, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, and Machu Picchu. I've been reading a lot lately about the Aztecs and the Incas and the Olmec Society.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. There's such rich history in all these other countries. Yeah. It's amazing that, the average person never gets out of their city.
That's crazy.
Isn't that wild? Like they never even go to another city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They literally stay in, the outskirts of Florida, whatever the case may be. And like when they go to New York, it's like, oh, we went to New York, but that's it.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Absolutely.
Go west, young man.
Yes, yeah. And artists and DJ, you had like the music scene in Europe is crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot of artists. They don't even travel outside the U.S.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it during COVID and all that, it was the restrictions and all that, but now sky's the limit. Come on now, let's go.
Yeah, no, and the music scene, like when I was on Sleeping Bag, they had distributed a lot of the music through, and they're no longer there, Ministry of Sounds in England, because Matronics was on the label and he was huge in England.
Yeah.
And hip hop, that was the beginnings of hip hop.
Yeah.
EPMD, on Sleeping Bag.
Very successful. Parish.
Yeah, Parish. And they were in England. They were huge in England. So, Tila Rock and I were really tight. I love him. And he's an incredible brother, the lyrical king. And he was always out in England. The whole music scene out there is very it's cool.
Yeah,
I can't wait till we get.
Yeah, they're up on it. So
yeah,
guys, be looking out. Mixtape Life is coming at you. The remix is the original version where I told you I was going to play the original version. So we're going to play that right now.
Yes.
And you know what it is, man. The Mystic Life is coming to your part of town. Get ready.
That's it. Thank you. This man is amazing.
Much love to you, sweetheart.
I'm honored talking to you.
Looking forward. We got some more projects that we're working on with Louis Martinet. Can't really let the cat out of the bag right now, but it's gonna be some real incredible dance, Latin influenced music that is gonna have you on a dance floor rocking out.
That's it. I love it.
It's Felix Sama Podcast.
Sama.
Peace, y'all. Much love. Stay connected.
City to city, let's start it. You, my dad.